Well, hi, YouTube. And hopefully this is back at a half decent time. It should be. I'm completely reliant on myself, so I get my shit together. Haha. Anyways, author Kristen McIntyre here, Lady Mac XO, and I have books to tell you about. Not my books either, so I know some of you are sick of my books. So I have other books to review. I read a lot in February. It was my birthday month, and I just made a ton of time for reading. Plus, I didn't sleep, so that took up a lot of my time. And just so everybody's aware, I'm a fast reader, and also it balances out. In March, I have read this many books. We're like halfway through. I've made significant progress with 2 of them. But my books that I've read in March that I record in April will be very quick, which is great because I have a lot of work news to share with you guys. I've been really busy. I have all kinds of exciting like work pivots and actual erotic books to share with you coming up in my next video. For now, let's stay on track and talk about these ones. So, books that I read in February. First off was Little Fires Everywhere. And this was a top 5-star read for me. This was a very emotional and dysfunctional family style read about 2 different families and how they kind of like intertwined and meshed together. I really loved it. It had multiple people's viewpoints. It is, I guess, a series I haven't watched yet, but I've heard it was also really well done. And I don't often hear that about books to movies or to shows. That's not my opinion though, that's just what I've heard. I really loved it. Absolutely recommend. I don't know if there's a sequel, but I would love if there's a sequel. I haven't actually looked into that. If you guys know, please let me know. If not, I think there should be. So, Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Great. Next up was Hemlock. This was an interesting book. I thought it was an indie read. I actually think I'm corrected. I might have mentioned that on TikTok. If you don't follow me on TikTok, why not? Go check me out. Same name, Lady Mac XO. I gave this 3.5. I did like it. It is based around a woman who, after her mother passes away, she uses her inheritance to buy a house back in her hometown and moves back to where both her first love and first serious boyfriend live. And there's like some sexual tension mixed with a little bit of like, horror is not the right word, not like supernatural horror, but like spooky, who's thriller, who's terrorizing, who did it kind of thing. So liked that one, 3.5 stars. The Cabin, I also gave 3.5 stars. I've heard really great things about this author and about another book that she's wrote called The Cellar, which is high on my to be read list. This book I liked. I found it was very young adult book, but also wrote with some 18 plus scenes. So I don't really know where you would categorize that. It is about 5 teens who go away for a weekend and multiple people, there's murder. And then of course mixed in with that is this underlying like past experience and tension and death and murder in their social group. So that just adds to the overlying like who did it, what's happening, etc. I liked it. Gave that one 3.5 stars as well. Darling Rose Gold is my top book of the month. Definitely a 5-star read. It follows heavily for sure, at least the beginning. If you just kind of like scan the back or see what it's about of the Gypsy Rose story, it is about a girl whose mother put her through, I guess what would be considered Munchausen syndrome. It's a mouthful. Or by Munchausen syndrome by proxy. I'm not sure which term is correct there. But unlike the Rose Gold or the Gypsy Rose case where there's like whatever happens to her mom and then it's jail time, in this book, It's very different. I don't want to give too much away other than there's no murder that puts in to jail, and then like it ends very differently, and it is very psychologically wild read, especially because it goes back and forth between the point of view of the mother and the daughter who was raised to believe that she was ill all the time. What a book. Okay, yeah, definitely 5-star, highly recommended. Stephanie Warble. Yeah, there you go. Darling Rose Gold. Next we have The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I have also heard that this is, I think it's a movie on Netflix. Not 100% sure though. I think I gave this 4 stars. I liked it. Spoiler, not spoiler. It's a cheesy love romance, so people end up together in the end. But it's a cheesy romance. They always end up together in the end. The idea of the book is that 2 people are sharing a apartment. They're like flat sharing, but they don't ever see each other because they share it at different times. Talking a lot with the books in my hand this month, apparently. They, like one's a weekender and one rents like night times or whatever. So they don't see each other when they cross paths. They just like leave each other little notes, and it's really cute. And it was a wholesome, lovey read that I needed at the beginning of the month to tend my little heart, which tends to go through a lot. Last but not least, The Chain, which is also like, I gave 4.5. It was pretty close to a 5-star read. This was creepy. This was a great read. Adrian McKinty. I have recently read and reviewed The Island. Not 100% sure if it made it to YouTube, but it definitely made it to TikTok. This book is like a parent's nightmare. It revolves around kidnappings where a woman's child is kidnapped. And in order to get the child back, she must pay a ransom and also kidnap another child. And then that kidnapped child's parents have to pay a ransom and kidnap another child. And when that child's kidnapped, the original woman's child will be let free. And then when if you can follow my gobbledygook here, and so it's yes. So the woman whose child is kidnapped, who the story is revolved around, the person who kidnapped her child also had their child kidnapped. It's a whole chain run by this organization that basically makes the parents do the dirty work of kidnapping and organizing, and like, it's because what would a parent not do to get their kid back? But then there's this twisted underlying of like forcing other parents to do things. Like, it's a really psychologically wild book, so I highly recommend it. I gave it a 4.5 because there was just a few things. I think I was really in the plot as a parent that kind of irked me, but that was like critiquing from a parent of the parents that are doing. It's probably the only reason it didn't get, like, the book itself is amazing. Read it. Highly recommend it. So there you go. There is my February reads in mid-March. Yay, there they all are. If you've read any of these, please let me know what you thought of them. I'd love to know what you're reading. Yep, that's about it for me as far as book reviews go. Like, I recommend all of those books this month. I don't often say that. And I don't read books, like, if I'm not feeling it. Oh, I forgot to add The Cabin. My bad. If I'm not feeling a book, like, I will DNF it, and then I just won't add it, and I won't talk about it. I don't really, like, put down books that aren't for me, because books are relative to your taste. But I will get through a book if I'm feeling it enough. Like a 3-star book or below, and I'm like, like, I'm actually reading one. I'm not going to say which book it is. Hopefully there's a few more to the pile by the time I get to April and I do my March reads. There's a book that, like, I'm just feeling it enough to keep reading, but it is not a 5-star read, but it's kept me into the story enough that I do not finish it, DNF it, and it'll get listed as a 3, maybe 3.5, so you guys aren't sure which book it is. Yeah, so that's it. Those are my books. If you're an indie author, I specifically want to hear from you and find out where I can get your ebooks, because I'm going away in a few months and I'm trying to fill my Kindle, And then hopefully I have some really awesome, like, I'll have to put them on the screen and do like the ebook reviews and share some indie stuff. So that's all for me for now. Also, indie author Chris McIntyre here, Lady Mac XO. My 11th book is in the works of being published. I have lots of book news to share. That will be my next video. And I'm actually I'm getting stuff done. So this will be up, edited, posted, and the next one's coming around. So thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of this amazing journey. And keep on reading and being kinky. Much love, guys.